Good Monday, and once again it is time for Miracles on Monday with Mary Ellen. So welcome to Miracles. Our topic this week is happiness. What exactly is happiness? What's the difference between happiness and joy? And why don't we choose to have happiness all the time? Well, let's start with the difference between happiness and joy. Now, I learned this in church from a minister when I went to a church service one time, just checking out churches here in the Chattanooga area, and he was talking about happiness and joy. And I thought, well, this is going to be great. And I totally agree with what he said. He said, happiness is a choice that you make consciously from day to day. And joy is something from your soul when you are filled with the Spirit, when you are connected to God. And I totally believe in all of that. Okay, so why don't we choose happiness all the time? Well, a little thing called life seems to get in the way. And, you will have a death in your family, or you'll have a tragedy happen. We had one of our neighbors had a horrible house fire, so that is a tragedy. I'm sure they're not going to be happy about that. And, when you have these sad things happen in your life, you can choose sadness, like with a death, for example. And what you want to be cautious about is not allowing that sad moment to linger with you for days and days and months and even years and years. Sometimes with a death, for example, on the anniversary of that death, people get sad all over again. And it depends actually on how the person died as to what the lingering effect will be on you. If happiness is a choice, okay, and somebody dies slowly, you can be, and I'm sure they will be relieved to know that they're going to a better place, that they are going to be with God. They're not in pain anymore. When a death happens and it's a tragic accident all of a sudden, that's a different set of circumstances that will hold you in your sadness a little bit longer till you work through it, because it's such a shock to our systems. And you're right, Abigail, happiness depends on circumstances. And the only thing I can say there is that when you are happy with your circumstances the way they are, then when they get better, you'll be even happier and more joyful. You have to be happy where you are first. Now, Blaise Pascal was a French physicist and ended up being a Christian philosopher at the end of his life. He only lived 39 years. He was born in 1623 and died in 1662. And at the end of his life, he wrote a paper on perspectives that I'm quoting from him. He said, "We do not make our choices based on what will make us happy, but on what we think will bring us happiness, no matter how wrong they may be." Now, isn't that the truth? How many of us have thought, well, when I get somebody in my life, then I'll be happy. Or when I get this, then I'll be happy. Or when, even a little kid at Christmas. Think about them at Christmas time. They think, oh, I want this toy and this toy and this toy. And then they get it, and yeah, they're happy. And then they see what the neighbor got, and they thought, well, wait a minute, I really wanted that. So your happiness depends on not what will make you happy, but what you think will make you happy. Pascal also said, all men seek happiness, yet when it comes around, they do not recognize it until it is gone. Then you want it again. Now, I relate this to kind of being on a merry-go-round. You know how the vision of a merry-go-round, and there's a brass ring out there, and you're going to grab that brass ring? Well, that brass ring is happiness. So you have all this expectation on the merry-go-round going around, and you try to grab the brass ring, and you got it, and you're happy in that 1 second. And then you go around again. So the question is, what do you believe in your hearts will make you happy? And what are you teaching your children will bring them happiness? You need to look at your daily choices that you make and how you spend your time and money. If this is bringing you happiness, then continue to do it. And if it's not, in 2020, change what you're doing. I hope you enjoyed this segment of Miracles on Monday. And anybody who is dealing with a tragedy or a death, you can choose to allow that to bring you down. And I know when my father died, I missed him terribly. And I was glad he was out of his pain. And I missed his voice, and I missed his smell. So those are things that we can sit with, and then we can choose to know that those people are still with us in spirit, and they are still with us in the glory of the Lord. And yes, Dennis Perkins, good morning to you too. Thank you so much for joining me. And he says, the joy of the Lord gives us strength, and that is the truth. Happiness is more of a reaction to a given situation that occurs. It is a temporary state of being, depending on environmental climate. And he writes more that I can't see right here. And that is so true, Dennis. So be happy today, no matter what's going on with you. And be happy tomorrow. And if your choices aren't bringing you happiness, make different ones. Now I'll be on next Monday with Miracles on Monday at 8 a.m. Well, we'll be talking about the miracle of letting go. So if you want to learn how to let go of your past, join me next Monday on Miracles on Monday with Mary Ellen. And Abigail and Pete and Dennis and Shane Eder and everybody I saw up there, Manny Rico, thank you so much for being with me today. I'll see you later.